Hey y'all, I'm back with my third day in my 12 days of DIY series, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I create a super easy tag album. Now, I've done a tag album before, but I actually created my own tags by using dies, and then this time I'm going to share with you how I created a much simpler version of that particular album. So I decided to go ahead and cut all of my papers to the same exact size, and an easy size to do it is a 3x4 size, whether you use just like scraps of paper like I'm doing, or photos. I also have those set over to the side, and then I also have some 3x4 cards that I'm going to use as well. The next step that I took was I grabbed my cards or my papers that are cut into 3x4 size, and I went ahead and cut off a corner and then used that triangular shape as a template for the other side so that both sides so that it's completely symmetrical. So that's just a quick tip. I'm going to do that with every single one of them. Actually, I do it with one, and then I use this tag as a template for the rest. So you'll kind of see what I mean as I continue. So I do want to mention that I saw Tracy Reed use 3x4 cards and papers, I think, for a tag album that she created. And I thought that was a good idea considering it's the perfect size, number one, and number two, I think it makes it a lot more simple. And so instead of cutting out my own tags that I've done before, I decided to create a one size kind of type of album this time. And that really made this whole process much easier, like I've mentioned several times. So now I'm going to go ahead and put those on the ring. Okay, I do want to also mention that I've already cut those out, and I did use photos like I said at the beginning, but I found these like pseudo calico kind of heavier weight cardstock. They're kind of like an interactive piece, and I use those for the front and back cover so that it'll make it kind of easier to identify, you know, what is my front and what is my back cover, and like where does this album start. So I'm going to do a quick flip through, and then the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of share with you a couple of tips for filling this album. And that is just to kind of save time. I didn't want to create an entire album because I think the point of it is just to show you how to make a quick and easy tag album, and you can really fill it however you want. For that first one, I just added some acetate type letters, and then I sewed those down. I've had those in my stash forever, and I sewed them and left the thread for just some extra texture. I have a lot of tags in this album that are not double-sided, so an easy way to fix that is grab your stamps and some inks and just stamp away with some of your favorite words and just kind of create your own little pattern. If I would have had some more muted tones, I would have used those to kind of match the album or the color scheme of the album. But I just used what I have on hand, and I created a background like I said. I was going to kind of stick to some aqua and like minty tones, but I decided it needed a pop of color, so I will grab a little something else and add in a pop of pink. Another quick way to add a background is just to grab some of your favorite washi and add some strips to the left or right side or wherever you want, and then to add just a quick little paper clip right on top, and then you can kind of clip a photo later on in your process. And then I'm going to share with you how I use one of my other DIY embellishments really quickly. Actually, for this one, I am just going to simply add a photo and then two tiny word stickers, and that is pretty much it. Oh, and then a little bit of washi down at the bottom just for a little added interest. And then for that particular page, it's done. You can keep it super simple, or you can add a lot of bulk and a lot of embellishments if you want. This is the last page I'm going to share with you and probably my favorite. I'm going to cut down this photo and add it straight to my album. I'm not going to back in on patterns or on a piece of pattern paper or anything like that. I think it looks great the way that it is. And then I'm going to add a couple of little DIY embellishments. I'm going to add this paper clip that you saw in my very first video, and that's pretty much it for that side. I'm just going to clip that there and add some adhesive so it stays, and then I'm going to add another little piece right on top of the photo. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to have some final photos for y'all. If you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.